Welcome back to episode 3 of Rimworld Modded for Medieval. We are doing quite well, building up some living residents, and that'll be very good for our colonists. We're going to probably focus on bees today, try and collect them around the map, and focus on just building up our base a bit more, and hopefully getting into some more of the fish, if that's possible. And yeah, we're doing really well for our food supply, so we also need to make sure we can keep it, because it's not refrigerated, that's a big problem. By working on the bees, we can start getting honey to preserve our food. So hopefully that'll happen soon, and we can start making up some food orders to make sure that forcefully happens. But yeah, the traders from last time are all happy, and they'll probably leave soon anyways. But yeah, we'll just keep working on everything and cleaning up the area, especially the dead body. They're all tainted, this stuff now, it's unfortunate. But we can try and sell it. Let's try and do that quickly. Yeah, there's really no way we can sell it. That's very weird. Huh. Maybe tainted stuff isn't allowed to be sold? I thought it was. Fair enough. Ah, fair enough. We've got a animal herder coming to sell us stuff. Wow, we are really liked by traders. The lovely factions around us. Where are we? Trumdra Cooks. Yeah, we've got a few people who are happy around us. Guess they're really just wanting to trade. A shaman merchant from the... Oh my goodness, we've got 3 merchants going at the same time. And this one just appeared here, so let's quickly go say hi to them. Crocodile, let's go trade. Ah, the animal merchants will take our skins. That's not a bad idea. We can sell all the fox fur, the light leather, and the bird skin. We don't need wolf skin. The bear skin and the plain leather is good, because if you have higher quantities, you can make better stuff. Wood we will need. But I don't think it's I think it's a waste to buy it. We have a bit of herbals for ourselves. There's nothing else we really need. We could buy a kangaroo, but are they... Yeah, they're not advanced training. So there's no real need for a kangaroo. And ducks can't be trained. Yeah, at all. They're useless. They're cute, but useless. It's weird that we can't sell other things, but that's okay. Not willing to buy our dogs. Interesting. Oh no, the Maine Coon is a cat. I appreciate the comment last time. It's an advanced trainable cat. Huh. I thought it was actually a dog from the way it looked like. So we actually have a giant cat and a dog. Very, very cool. Now the shaman's gonna trade with us. Whatever the heck they want. That'll be interesting. Oh, goodness me. Everything's happening now. There's a quest available. Abandoned castles not far from us. There may be an unknown threat. Of course there's going to be an unknown threat. The castle is there, and we are here. That's not too far. Going past Empire means we could go shopping along the way. Recently discovered could contain valuable loot. Oh, telling other factions what you want. That's 26 days is a good amount of time for anything for us to figure out what we want with it. I don't know if we'll do it or not. But the blight of our plants, that's a desperate need. So Gurbar is getting the bees, which is really good. And plant cut, we have Crorio is well set on it, who's using the latrine. Okay, once you've done that, please fix the blight. Yeah. Sounds good. That's sadly... Wait. You're meant to fix all of the blights. Oh my goodness. Gonna have to do all of them. That should be all of them. Blight's bad because it's like a disease on your plants and it kills them and kills the other plant. Well, another group of travelers have come along into the area, but they're not going to do anything to us. There they are. They're just wandering by. Very interesting. Fall has begun, so we are in the season of fall, and we can trade with these guys now, the shamans. We'll get Crocodile out to trade with them. See what they got as shamans. They usually sell herbal medicines, yeah. They could buy our giant cat, which we are not willing to part with. Interesting. Yeah, there's nothing we really need. Plasteel is really good. But that doesn't help with tribal buildings or anything. We could make, like, plasteel great bows, maybe? That's way too expensive. Yeah, no. Early trading doesn't work out so for us. And they're also not willing to buy any of our food. We really have to find some traders that can buy food, because that's what we're working on at the moment. And if we can't, then we're not going to be able to make any money. That's unfortunate. Right, that looks pretty good for our beekeeping area. Just add a little bit of bone basic flooring. And that will have our beekeeping workstation, our beekeeping research table, and our steel honey centrifuge all in this little nook, and then we can have space to store whatever we need to store, which is probably not much. But also, in case we get any more workbenches and stuff in here, it'll work out. And that's close enough to the growing area, which is really nice. So it sort of fits in nicely. Allows access to the bees pretty quickly. Sweet stuff. Eventually they'll work on everything here as well. Lots of work for the colonists to do. They can't slack. Corio's the only one really needing a little bit of a break. Disturb sleep, slept in the cold. Yeah, we're trying to fix that, bud. Also, we should just put this stuff on hold for the moment. Orders, is there forbid? Oh, where's the allow button? There it is. Forbid section. There we are. So we'll just do that as a delayed thing, because we want to make all the beds first. And this can be made later. The bees aren't as important temporarily. One good idea I did not consider of is putting some floors throughout the garden. So walking through plants and all that probably takes a lot longer than walking through floor. It will impact our growing zone a little bit, but I mean, it's better to get movement through. That's a bit more important. And I mean, the detour that goes around is pretty good. We'll fix up this area in a bit. This temporary zone is not going to stay here forever. But yeah, we'll deal with that when that happens. Holy crap. The Arctic drake was getting hungry, and the guys that were visiting us, who were leaving actually, the caravan was just leaving, the Arctic drake beat one of them up. How's their health? He's got 2 bites. Okay, he's not doing too bad, but the drake's not doing great. Sheesh. Oh, and a duck is dead. Oh, because the drake tried to hunt the duck. It didn't let me know because it wasn't my duck. So, we didn't have to worry about our duck dying, but we now have a drake that we could save? 7 hours. Advanced training, 122 meat, that doesn't make an importance. Usually tells you the health. No, it doesn't. Okay, so its head's got 75 health, which is actually very decent. 120 health for the body, 90 for the legs, 75 for the foots. The feets. The foots. Anyways, that's actually quite a strong beast, but the problem is taming it is really hard to do. Oh, its tail got cut off as well. Maybe another day. Yeah, we'll get some free meat out of it. But sadly, I think that's for another day. Just before I forget, we did have a request for another person to join us. So I believe we can switch out Gurabare as the farmer and the person who takes care of the bees. We have a request for Enes. Crab Enes Gurabare. Very nice. So, Framer. So originally, yeah, it was interesting to do for building things. So Framer not as in like somebody who frames people for crimes. Somebody who frames houses and helps plant life and all that. Very cool. So welcome Ennis to the colony. We hope you survive and create lots of good plants for us, and thank goodness all the beets weren't dead yet. Ennis is just returning from the beekeeping, because you have to go to the wild to collect your bees. Hives, the beehives, and then once you dismantle the beehives on a workstation, which we haven't made just yet, once that's done, you get the drones and the queens. You put them into these hives, and then they slowly make honey. So insert queen, insert drone. And once that's ready, we'll start getting some honey. So once Ennis, who is also the builder, is done fixing up these rooms, which we have to do a little bit of renovation on the wall, then we can start doing some bees. So we're looking forward to it. Unfortunately, I think this is the second time today that Velo has failed to catch anything whilst fishing. That's really unfortunate. He's learning, I'm assuming, animals with fishing? I can't honestly remember. Hopefully he's learning a few skills from there. 347. And he's done a little bit of plant work too. Yeah, I think it's animals. Also some spacecraft fell, and I've lost where it is. But we'll get to it eventually if we need extra steel and all that. Chunks of spacecraft are always helpful. The drake's finally dead, so we can haul that in and cut it up. It's only missing 15% of its body, so it still gets most of the meat and leather out of it, which will be nice. Now, since Octave and Bonfire are actually really hungry, I do have to fix their... What did I forget? There we are, unrestricted, because they were having problems before, but they're happy now, so we're all good. Oh, good job, Velo. You caught a crayfish. Very nice. It's not very beautiful. 5% food poison. It's got 0.5 nutrition. That's not too bad. Nicely done. So that would be... We just saw the numbers a second ago. Yep, that's animal handling. Very nice. So that's just a free way of getting a little bit of animal handling up. And a free way of getting a little bit of food. What else is Velo doing at the moment? He's focusing on hunting, fishing... Ah, he must be out of things to hunt. At the moment, we're doing good for food, so... I don't think there's much else he has to do. Might find a few things more to hunt. Because we're trying to tame some things. Oh, yeah. It's because there is nothing left on the map to hunt. Yeah, focus on the fishing, man. You should be fine. We have a request for another quest. Very interesting. Request for help. The fields yielded more than expected and could use for the harvest. Oh. The Empire is asking for help. Huh. No, those are old quests. Requesting help with harvesting. But how far away is that? That's even further than that quest. We're in no position to make long journeys yet. Our food spoils really quickly, so even a day's journey would lose most of our food. Well, not a day, but like a couple days. Yeah, this food's already not doing so great. Yeah, I think we'll have to pass on that for the moment. Oh, well, we still haven't solved our own bed problem, and visitors are still wanting to join us and say hello and have a hotel night stay. Sadly, we do have to shoo them away. Maybe one day. When we get on top of our basic needs, we'll get there and have friendly people join and maybe pay us some nice cash for staying around. But not today. Oh, dearie me. Meteor shower has come and given us compacted steel, silver ore, and silver... Oh wow, we are rich. If we mine it up, which is not a good idea, because Rimworld is based... the enemies that attack you and the strength of all that is based on the wealth of your colony. So if you try to like build yourself up with really, really cheap things, it makes it a little bit easier to play the game. So if we mined all this silver ore, it would just make it more difficult for us. Unless we're doing it for a reason to buy something expensive, there's no reason us to mine this at the moment. We'll save it for later. But that's really cool, and really glad it didn't land on our heads. Because in Rimworld, anything can land anywhere. Even on top of mountains and stuff, so you gotta be really careful. And thank goodness it didn't hit us. And just as I thought, we have 54 simple meals rotting away in storage. That's rough. Luckily we have 58 for the next 3 days. But at least we're on top of food. That's the most important thing. It's very sad that we don't have a way of saving our meals for a long time. And definitely no way of refrigeration in the medieval ages. But that'll come by soon. Ennis is almost finished constructing the last room that we need. And then we'll work on the bees. And that's a solar flare, and since we have no electricity, and we never will, that is completely not a problem for us. In most games, that's horrible, but we're fine here. We do have a hypothermia problem. Serious hypothermia. Goodness me. Spending too much time in the rain is a problem, because we have a mod that makes getting wet a problem, which is not good. So we have to deal with that right away. It's temperature. Quickly build a campfire in... I guess here? Yeah, we don't want to build it in the rooms. We'll build it in this room here. Okay, is there any way of forcing him to... Oh, recovering from hypothermia. Let's sit him here for a little bit. See if it works. Yes, it does. Look how quickly that fixes it. We're only on 2 times speed. And hypothermia fixes so quickly. The other mod that we have that helps with this is temperature affects things that are close to it. I've totally not even said the right word for the mod. But if you're around things, the temperature affects it more so if you're close to it. Which also means this room might be getting a bit warm. No, it's only 29 degrees. That's not bad at all. Even though he's standing next to a campfire. Anyways, his hypothermia is completely gone. Good job, Ennis. Just gotta be a little bit more careful by not spending too much time out in the rain. Just next time. Well, this is the circle of life Arctic Coyote has gotten completely destroyed by a squirrel, and we get to get a free amount of food from that. We might be able to get another Arctic Coyote, because out of everything out here, it's probably not worth it. The stallions we're kind of trying to tame and not succeeding. Our tamer at the moment, which would be Handle, is Crocodile, and he just seems to be struggling. He's only on 4 for animals, and I really don't think anyone's got better. There's 3 for Croyo, Velo's got 4, Ennis is 2, and Green has 1. Yeah, we are really struggling for doing animal work. Hopefully we can find someone soon that does it better than these guys. But for the moment, we just have to live with it. Okay, so Velo is having a major break wrist because he's really unhappy. Transhumanist is kind of annoying because he's always going to have that -4 for a long time. Darkness, Unsightly, Saw Corpse, Numbing Cold. Yeah, we got to get him some better clothes. He shouldn't probably be fishing out at this hour. We got to do something about this corpse. It is being a rather nuisance. Should be able to bury them in a grave. That would help. Oh, don't tell me he saw another corpse. He saw the corpse again. It's the same corpse, man. Miscellaneous should have graves, yeah. So we'll put a grave out the front. Just for the dead bodies. I mean, they'll get eaten eventually, but it's taking too long for them to get eaten. And since they're rotting, I don't think the pets will eat them, which is rather unfortunate. And that should be the last of the corpse problems. Everyone's upset about it, unfortunately. Even Croyo. But hopefully that's all fixed soon. Relaxing socially. Actually, this should not be a social point. He's trying to sleep. Yes, please don't bother him. Oh yeah, recovering with hypothermia, that's fine. But thank goodness it stopped raining. That really fixes the hypothermia problem that we've been having. Oh, the research is complete. Green is doing a very good job. We got the great bow research done, and now we are going to be working on heavy crossbows. Very good. Eventually, actually, when we get close to the end of that research, we should definitely build ourselves, once we start working on the bees, which we will in just a second. I think Ennis is just about ready to do it. We need to build ourselves like a little manufacturing room to focus on building what we need for weapons, which will be very useful. Ah, this is very beneficial. The weather has gone down because it's fall. Outdoors is -4. Inside the kitchen it's 1 degrees. And as you can see here, our meals will now survive 18 days. So what I've gone is I've gone and suspended cooking food because we want to save a bunch of the meat that we're getting. Focus on cutting a bunch of meat up. And because we're now getting the beekeeping to start up, we can preserve meat with honey. The only problem, actually, yeah, now that I think of it, is the bees are not going to work very well through winter. We'll see how we go, but we'll want to do it forever, preserving meat with honey. And we don't need to preserve vegetables with honey. No, that's a waste of honey. And yeah, the preserved meat with honey allows the product to be a food. Not that much nutrition, but it should be enough to cook with, I think. Yeah. We'll have to see when we get to it. We also need to extract from the hives. That's very important. Which we will put that at the top. That's in order to get the bees out of the hives. And there's no way to bulk preserve honey. That's fine, that's fine. Anyways, we'll get that sorted and get onto it. Oh! Empire of the Moon has lost to Sherwood after failing to break... Oh my goodness. Did they get completely destroyed? Is that one less faction, or is that just one of their bases? The Empire lost an entire base. Holy crap, that's pretty fancy. Interesting, we gotta keep our eye out for that. Fortunately, that's not too close to us, so we should be okay. Now, the steel honey centrifuge is ready. It says it needs power, but technically, in order to extract from any comb, which you should do forever, it can work at 30% of its efficiency, useful for tribal people, if you don't have electricity, which makes it really slow, but it allows us to still do our work whilst we're being tribals, which we should be tribals for practically the entire playthrough as far as our luck will go. Anyways, that keeps us going, and it should be fine. We got visitors again, and as our usual, we gotta send them away, sadly. Okay, so we have our temperate drone and our temperate queen inside the hive, and surprisingly, in the temperature of 6 degrees, they're working for an entire day. So basically, the average of working speed is a day per comb, which, when you think about it, it's not too bad, but it's not great. It doesn't produce much beeswax or honey from the comb when you extract it. But at least it's constant. It's constant food, and it's constant preserves for our cooking. And it also increases the growing of plants around it. So that's why there's this, what is it called? Create growing zone that you can see highlighted. So the bees will impact and help grow what's around it by 25%. Is that what it's saying there? Generate a partially grown offshoot. I think that just means it's helping it to grow. Because I don't think adding an extra offshoot around it makes a big difference. Except, like, you can see there's 4 of them in this square. There's technically 4 there, and there's 5 of them in this square. Unless that's in its own... I'm confused about how that works. But technically it just helps your growing. That's what it does. So keeping a bunch of bees around all your growing areas is ideal. Also, the beets are coming through, growing nice and slow and ready to harvest. Just for a few of them, which is nice. It'll keep our food going strong. And on that note, we could actually cook simple meals of just the vegetables. That would definitely work well. Do forever, and this will just be for no meat, no seafood, and no animal products, just for vegetarian. The reason why grapes are automatically not there is because I think they're mainly used for wine, as it says there, but also they're nice to eat when raw, so it's a waste to actually cook grapes. Yeah, so we'll do it like that. And then we can work on this meat, which is actually spoiling in a while, sadly. The coldness of fall only really affected us a couple of days ago, and it's gone back up to like 7 degrees, which is not enough to make this food last. Sadly. Oh, here's the other cool part. Honeycombs can come out of these hives that we get from the wild, which is really cool. So we can get a bit of honey right away, which is nice. If we can... Oh yeah, extract forever. Yep, we did it. And we're going to put some mild ones. So we put the temperate ones in here. I don't know if it tells us that we did it. Oh, I accidentally extracted it. That's alright. So you go and put the temperate back. There we go. Did that reset it? It did. Okay, so I should make sure not to do that again. And then we'll put mild ones into this one, just to have 2 different ones going at the same time. It doesn't make a big difference, but it's just so we don't ever forget that we have those bees. Also, another conquest. Interesting, the Moose Clan beat up the Komugua Pact. Komugua Pact. Oh, that's good! Because the Komugua Pact are our friends, well, neutral, and the Moose Clan are bad. Huh! Good things are happening. Well, the first snow is starting to set in late fall, basically. So that's good and bad at the same time. I've made sure that the door is forced open in the kitchen in order for our food to not spoil. But sadly, that just means we're going to struggle surviving the winter because our temperatures are not enjoying it. Our beds are nice and warm. That's the best part. So our bed gives us... It should say it's somewhere. Rest effectiveness, it increases it a bit. But because it's a fur bed, it gives you warmth to counter hypothermia. It just doesn't say it here, but that's fine. So sleeping is not a problem. Working indoors is not a big problem. But being outdoors is gonna be a bit of a problem for us. So we've got to somehow counteract that a little bit. And we're gonna go with complex clothing probably next. With our research. Actually, could we do it now? We've got 956 left on that. $900 for complex. By the time we get to it, winter's probably going to be over. We'll do it for next winter. We just have to tough it out this winter. And yeah, the bees are not happy with the freezing weathers. I think it's just above 0 degrees, so if it gets a bit warmer during the day, the bees will be okay. But yeah. I guess it's during the warmer times we'll worry about honey. During the winter times we'll just keep things to freeze. Which is nice. And with our first result and harvest of honey, and some beeswax, which can be a nice building material or construction material. It's a raw resource. Definitely can be used in multiple ways. I don't think you can make it as a weapon or armor, but food, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and candles. Candles will be really nice when we eventually get that research. And they have a bit of beauty to it, which is nice. With the final product of honey, we will have to probably end it there for this episode as winter starts to set in, and the beautiful mod where you get snowy trees, and the ground usually gets snowy anyways. You can see the water is starting to get thin ice over our marsh, which is actually going to be really hard to fish over, so our fishing spots have got destroyed. But there is a really cool thing that you can do, which is ice fishing, so we can definitely fish in the winter. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there as winter sets in. I know it doesn't say winter, but we're practically super close to winter. And yeah, the bees will have to wait till spring. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.